All right, welcome to Tuesday, post-Evo Tuesday. I'm Ultra David.
And I'm really tired.
Me too.
I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
Hopefully everybody's going well. Yeah, I'm tired too. Evo was always exhausting.
Right.
I stayed up until last night, until 2 a.m. just to do work.
To shave?
It doesn't take that long.
I thought it takes you that long.
You know what's strange?
What's that?
It takes less time for me to shave a thick beard than it does to shave like a minor beard. Because I just go, and it's just like it's having like hair, and you just like, and it's really easy.
Dude, I just totally realized something. Did you bring the Canon Award?
No, I totally forgot. It's in my apartment right now.
Wow,
I totally forgot. Spoiler.
Because I even, put out a nice little spot for it right here.
Someday we'll be there.
Okay, hopefully.
Someday we'll be there, but not today, because I forgot.
Yes, okay.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
So I didn't get much sleep, and I had to wake up early and do more work, because, I was gone for a week, basically, and clients are like, what's going on, man? And I'm like, all right, get to work, So.
I mean, how does that work exactly? I mean, do you have to tell your clients that you're on, vacation or something like that, or?
I mean, I told most of them that I was going to go. It depends. Some are, very much in gaming, and they're like, all right, have a good time at Evo, and I'm like, thanks, I'll see you at Evo.
Oh, right, yeah, okay,
awesome,
fair enough, yeah.
And then others are, not really that type, and so I was like, I'll be in Vegas.
Right.
And it just depends. So. But yeah, I had a lot of stuff to do. Still have a lot of stuff to do.
Okay, cool.
Anyway,
yes.
Evo 2015
yes.
was this past weekend. It was Friday through Sunday, and it was a festival of all things fighting games.
Well, okay, let me just ask you, what did you think of the overall event?
The overall event, I thought, was very good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You want me to expand on that? I feel like I should expand.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. I went there a couple of days in advance and just hung out and did Vegas stuff, which was really nice. Right. And even just randomly, some of my cousins were in town, so I brought some of them.
Nice. Right.
Even brought a friend, one of them from that crew into Evo and showed her stuff. So that was cool. And as far as the event itself, I rarely get to see people during that time. I must have said hi to 100 people for less than a minute. Right. In total.
And then, even in retrospect, there were so many people that I missed.
Yeah.
There was, I didn't see Flo. There was a whole bunch of people that I just, randomly saw through Facebook and everything. There was even some people that I was expecting to see that I did see that I didn't, that I hadn't ever met in person. That I didn't make the connection between the name and the person when they introduced me because I just ran into so many people.
Dang.
Dude, I felt terrible.
I actually did that a couple of times, too. Yeah, there were still people who I intended to meet, and I didn't, I totally forgot about it at the time because I just was so busy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's tough. I mean, that's one of the big differences with Evo for us now, personally, is that Evo used to be this thing where you go to and you see all your friends.
Right.
And it's hard now because there are so many people. Obviously, there was 9,000 competitors. No, there was 7,000 competitors and 13,000 people or something crazy like that. I don't know what the numbers are. Don't let me
give false
numbers.
No, it's something like that.
But they sold a bunch of stuff. I mean, they sold a bunch of passes and stuff like that. So there was a ton of people there.
And I didn't get to see that many of them. Because, James and I, basically, we sat down at 8 a.m. So Thursday night, we go to sleep early, right? Because Friday, we wake up at 7 in the morning, and we're commentating at 8, and we need to be awake. It's not like some other... I mean, I always try to be awake for tournaments, but it's extra special, super important to be awake for the start of Evo.
Dude,
you have to be up.
I was in Vegas on Thursday night. Vegas, right? It was 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And I went to my room to get ready to sleep.
Dude, yeah. Yeah.
That's the way it went, so...
I was asleep by midnight, certainly.
Yeah, same here, so...
And then, so we commentated for most of that day. I would say we probably put in a good 13, 14 hours or so each, something like that. And then the next day... I commentated from about noon until 2, and then we had some interviews to do that took a couple of hours, and then I was doing it again until 10.
Yeah, same here. I think we both commented from 4 to 10.
Yeah,
totally, completely, right? Yeah. And then, of course, on finals day, you did Mortal Kombat. I did Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, like, it's fun though. It's fun.
Totally it's fun. Totally it's fun.
I love it. I love doing it. Would I rather be on the stage playing? Actually, now that I watch the stuff that like Momochi and GamerB went through, I don't know.
Really?
Because I would be dead. Oh man, it's just, you got to think about it. Like 2,200 plus people with broken hearts not winning Evo. You know what I mean? And dude, like, you know how competitive I am and how emotional everybody knows how emotional I get at Evo. Dude, at this point in time, like, I would love to be on top 8, but dude, I don't know if I could handle it.
Oh man, that would be so awesome.
It would be amazing.
I love that feeling. For example, before a major test, I love that feeling. It's like you're like all, ooh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? You know
what?
It's true. I love that feeling.
Dude,
that, like,
I hate
big
tests.
moment incoming. You don't know. It's like life changing. Oh man, I love that.
Yeah, my biggest problem is that I think the school system's flawed, and I hate tests, so I never really appreciated them. But that's a whole nother story. We'll get there some other day.
Yeah, like before a big hockey game, or like anytime I started was in the top 8 in one tournament, so I know what that feeling is, but not at an Evo level, of course.
Yeah.
So I would love it.
Yeah, I know what it feels like at Evo for Mario Kart.
Ooh, a big stage.
Yeah, at 8 in the morning. Yeah, there was literally no one in the ballroom. Trust me, there was no one in the ballroom to witness that. That's why no one remembers it happens.
I mean, I've been on Evo stage. You know, I've played on Evo stage.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely nerve wracking, but it's awesome. Yeah. Anyway, so as far as the layout of things,
well, before we get there, I just want to express, like, what just a very general concept of how I felt about Evo.
Please do.
Which was someone before Evo 2015, before it even happened, before this past weekend, asked me, name me your top 5 Evos, right? And I said, in order, 2014, 2013, 2012, 2011, 2010.
Okay.
And I was like, I guarantee you after this weekend, it'll be 2015 will be my favorite Evo.
Yeah.
Because somehow, it just, like, every year, I didn't even say it this year. Like, because every year previous to this, I was like, there's no way next year can top this. There's no way next year can top this.
Yeah.
I've given that up because it's been topped every single year. And so, and sure enough, Evo 2015 was probably the most intense thing that I have experienced in a long time, because some of that Street Fighter 4 stuff was ridiculous.
Actually, all the games I thought, all the ones that I watched, I haven't gotten to see everything, but all the ones I watched I thought were like really impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like, at least on the finals day, I didn't feel like any of them sucked.
Yeah.
Which I felt like sometimes.
Right, yeah. No, it's
I've
happened
commentated
before.
Some of them.
Dude,
and,
I mean, look.
it can be rough, but
Injustice,
this year not.
Superman, pre-patch, right? Yeah, absolutely, it happens. But yeah, this year everything was ridiculous. It just shows that the level of competition, in my opinion, is just like ridiculous now. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. And there's so many awesome stories, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But
sure.
You were saying the layout. Go for it.
Separated into these big 2 rooms. Mm-hmm. And one room I spent maybe a combined 10 minutes in the entire weekend. Okay. The one that had the vendor hall. The vendor hall. It's where a bunch of the games were being played.
The indie stuff. The
indie games were there. Yeah. Uh-huh. And then on finals day, it still had some vendor stuff, but it also had the commentary piped in.
Right. Yeah.
I spent a total of a half hour in that room. Like, I didn't commentate anything in that room. Okay. I had to be in the other room commentating. Right. The room, and when I had free time, I spent it to go like eat food, and then to come back and commentate again in that main room. So I really didn't get to see the vendors. I didn't get to see the indie games. I didn't get to watch any, Marvel, Guilty, anything like that until they were on the big, the main stage, basically. So that was kind of disappointing to me. I understand that it's separated into 2 rooms because this is just a different location, and certainly this location, Bally's, is way better than Las Vegas Hilton was. Like, there's no doubt about that. So I was, I'm willing to put up with that separation, even though it has a smaller ballroom, just because the location is so much better.
Right.
But I do miss that last year ballroom because it was gigantic enough to fit almost everything, with the exception of the vendors, but you had to walk through the vendors to get there. So I still saw some stuff, and it was just a better layout for me. But I understand why this year it was in a different one, and like I said, on balance, sort of everything taken into consideration, I would rather be at this location, certainly. So.
Yeah, I mean, I actually did spend not a lot of time in the vendor hall, but I definitely spent a decent amount of time in there. Enough time that I felt like I got a feel for it. Mm-hmm. I definitely went to the Mad Catz booth a couple of times just to say hi to people and over there, and
I never was there.
Yeah, I stopped by a bunch of different places. I bought shirts from the Arcade Shock booth. I bought shirts from the Bait booth. I talked to the 86th crew. They gave me a free T-shirt, which was super cool. Thanks to Dan and Kay and everybody else at 86. And then I did commentate one period of time in there for Marvel. I did 2 hours of Marvel.
Cool.
And let me tell you something. Like, I was totally falling asleep while I was doing that because I was so tired on Saturday. I was so tired. So shout outs to the guy Kevin, who was my co-commentator, because basically he was commentating the whole time and I didn't say anything. In fact, at one point in time, someone did an attack and the X Factor canceled it, and I was like, oh, and then he activates the red focus X Factor, and like everyone called me out on it, dude.
Wow.
Like my brain wasn't working at all, dude. It was amazing. So. Dang. But yeah, but that hall. The coolest part to me was that to get to the commentary booth in Marvel was impossible when I walked into the hall, because it was the final Smash Melee matches that were going on in that hall. And let me tell you, that room, that corner, like literally, some people said it took me 40 minutes to get to the commentator table.
Really?
Because I tried going in this side, I couldn't get in. I couldn't get in there. I was going around the whole. Dude, it was. I got there at around maybe 5:55 or something, and I didn't They couldn't even run Marvel because there were so many Smash people watching over there, and so I never even really sat down until 6:30 or something like that to actually do commentary. So I just gave up. I walked to where the screen was, where everyone's watching, and I just stood under it, and I just stood there.
Dang.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I took a picture, and it's just like a sea of heads, just as far as the eye can see. It was ridiculous. It was really packed. The Smash scene, I mean, seriously, they come out in force. That's sort of one of the things that seemed like it was not that great. And like I said, I didn't spend almost any time in that room, but I did hear that it was super crowded, and that people had the same issue for Gear, right? For Guilty Gear, they couldn't get to where they needed to go, or they couldn't watch, or something like that. I heard the 16 semifinalists were stuck in the middle of the streaming table because there was no room anywhere else. And some people trying to comment Guilty Gear kept getting hit by people trying to go through to watch Smash, and the players couldn't get through. So and I know it hurt the Marvel stream as well, I think, because a lot of matches didn't get streamed because Marvel, like I said, started at 6:30. They couldn't even start until Smash got done. And so I think that kind of hurt a little bit, but I mean that's just an extent of just how crazy that community is and how rabid they are, the fever that they have for their game, which that's to me, I'm not going to complain about.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right, exactly.
So anyway, I do think that the location was a little bit unfortunate, and it's clearly getting to a place where Las Vegas hotels don't cut it.
Yeah, and I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know either. I mean, the Las Vegas Hilton was bought like when we were there last year. And it's the Westgate now, and I know that they made some improvements. Yeah. And I don't know how it is now. Maybe it's better. Right. If it's better, then that'd be fine with going back, because that was my only problem with that hotel was the hotel, not the
bed. Yeah. Absolutely.
If the hotel's better, then fantastic. But other than that, I don't know what you do. Do you go to the Vegas Convention Center? Because there is a big convention center. That's what CES is. It's huge. And there are hotels near it. There's the Encore and the LVH or the Westgate now, and I've stayed at Circus because it's one of the closest ones to that venue. So maybe that's what you do, or
I mean, it's tough because one of the nice things about having it at a hotel is that I went back to my room plenty of times during
Same.
the course of the day, you know, like just dropping off some of the shirts that I bought or whatever like that, or even just being able to lie down and take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's at the convention center, we're not going to be able to have that kind of,
Right.
I mean, first world problems, but, you know, we're not going to have that kind of convenience to it, right? But, you know what? I mean, if it's better for the event and they need to be at a convention center, then more power to them. But I've also heard convention centers are like an order of magnitude more expensive than Vegas hotel ballrooms. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen at this point in time.
Right.
But, yeah.
Well, okay. So there's that. Yeah, I mean, it was just certainly the games were all good.
Mm-hmm.
I will talk about the games and the results, but they all seemed like they were good. I didn't get to watch anything that I thought was crappy. I mean, I do think that the stream could have been, the Capcom Fighter stream, they probably could have picked like better matches for a pretty good chunk of it, but there was nothing that was like objectionable, and well, that's not true exactly.
But that was for Mortal Kombat, but yeah. That's
no, it was for SF4
Oh, was it SF4? Oh, was it the same guy?
It was, two times.
Okay.
Anyway, but other than that, there was no, it wasn't like it sucked, it was still good, it just was like, maybe it could have been a bit better.
Right. Yeah, dude, okay, so someone brings this up on chat as well, and I don't even know how I can get into that whole entire thing. But dude, the side events were crazy too. I heard that there was so many ridiculousness going on for the side events. Shout outs to the entire Anime Evo crew for all the work that they did, as well as the Mad Catz booth for streaming a bunch of stuff. They streamed like the Skullgirls final.
Right.
I think they did stream the Catherine tournament.
Did they really?
I think they did.
That's awesome.
I don't know, but they were streaming also. There was like some weird Tetris puzzle game that everyone kept telling me to go play. That like you could use different characters with these like different powers that they were streaming.
Oh, is that one of the indie games?
No, it was just a game someone brought. I don't even know the story behind it. I just heard you need to go play this Tetris fighting game, and I was like, what the heck? And I don't even know what it was. So yeah.
I mean, there was an ST tournament. I've already seen that the video is up from that.
Oh, okay. Catherine was streamed by Atlas, I guess. Atlas USA.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's a versus mode. So a lot of people don't know this, but Catherine has a versus mode, and a lot of people. Apparently, Dacet Bro is the best at that.
Apparently,
game.
I always see him talking about it. So
yeah.
Oh
man.
But it was good. And then finals day rolled around, and that was awesome. I got down there at whatever, like 9:30 or something, maybe a little bit earlier than that, to watch Gear. And I got there like 5 minutes after the Woshige stood up.
I saw that as I walked in. Like I walked to the front and I saw it happen there, and it was
like I walked downstairs at 9, and I was like, well, I'll get a muffin. Right? And you were like, I'm not going to get a muffin.
Right.
I'm just going to go in. And I was like, I need a muffin. And it's because I got that muffin that I didn't get to see it.
Oh, man, that sucks.
That
dude.
sucks.
That sucks.
For sure.
But, dude, I walked in. I had the same reaction that Ryan Hunter did when he first got up and started cheering. It's because he did something super smart. He did we might as well just get into this. I mean, there's no schedule. We're just talking about whatever we want, right? So the way he ended that round was brilliant because Ogawa still had his burst. You can't burst when you get hit by overdrives, when you get hit by supers. So he did super linked into super to kill him. And it was genius. So when he did it, he got up and started pumping his fists. And I was like, wow, that's a pop-off, dude. That's like a massive pop-off. All right, now it's time to get back. Why are you getting back in your, oh my God, he thinks it's over. And then he was right. It was over by the time he sat down.
That sucks.
Oh, man, that was,
That sucks.
But to his credit here, he smiled about it. He laughed about it. He even stood up to the audience and bowed apologized, the kind of apologetic bow. And then he got the audience chanting his name in every match. He became a fan favorite. Everybody knows who Woshige is now. Dude.
Even ESPN knows who Washigi is. Was it Washigi, I think?
Yeah, he said Washigi. Dude, I thought my joke on Twitter was genius.
What was your joke? I don't remember.
I was like, I love how they pronounced it Washigi, right?
Okay.
It's like Ogawario and Wawoshiji. I mean, come on. That's brilliant, right? Ogawario and Wawoshiji.
Like Wario and Waluigi.
Yeah,
I get it.
exactly. See?
Hey, James.
Okay, never mind.
I don't really. You'll get him next time. Yeah, so that's. I guess you want to talk about the coverage of it because we're talking about it now. I've just made a Evo.
Okay, yeah, the Evo. Sure, let's do it.
Because there's been a lot of it, and it's been nice.
Yeah.
Even most of it has been actually complimentary. Chat's going nuts for that joke that happened.
That didn't work. Yeah. Exactly.
There's been a lot of coverage.
Yes.
It's been cool. ESPN's been on it, which is, I don't need that, but it's fine. It's good, I guess.
Dude,
it's cool.
Look, I mean, for me,
I don't want to discount that too much, but it's cool.
Like, to me, I thought it was awesome that it got on ESPN because of a bunch of the reactions that I saw from people. Someone, like, it was IG, I think it was, AG, the really good soul player from Southern California in Xrd. He came home and, like, I guess he was talking to a friend. He was like, yeah, I just came back from a game tournament. And the guy's like, I saw that on TV. And then, like, I had someone tweeting me that they said that, like, their mom actually was like, hey, I saw that thing that you went to on TV. Like, the mom actually talked about it, like, who's never talked about video games in their life, you know. All these people had stuff to say about it. And I just like that it got into the public consciousness, sure. Right? Now, some people did say that one of the things that bothered them about it was an embarrassing, it was like, oh, someone made a mistake or whatever, and that's how it gets on there. But you know what, though? To be honest with you, like, it's in the public eye now. We've now had it on ESPN, someone say, Evolution Championships, it's the largest fighting game tournament in the world.
That's true.
On there.
That's true.
And a guy compliment the commentary about it. Listen to these guys. Oh, I love how the guy was like, here comes the RKO. Like, you had the two guys who covered it, by the way, on SportsCenter. Hats off to them. They did a great job. I felt like they did a very respectable job, not making fun of it. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
true. They didn't.
You would expect them to do.
That's true.
But we've had those words, we've had those things come into the public consciousness. Now, casual sports fans watching it will know that there even is such a thing as Evolution Championships, and if they run into it anywhere else, they'd be like, oh, I remember seeing something about it. And to me, that's amazing. I think that's super important, so I'm like super happy about it.
Yeah, no, that all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was even on that Dan Patrick show. Did you see that clip?
Yeah, they made fun of it.
They made fun of it, yeah, which is whatever.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
And the guy was like, the EVO tournament.
Yeah,
Who cares?
That one was. Although some people were like defending, arguing against the guy who was making fun of it. They were like, "What did you do yesterday?"
You're right.
You just sat there and did nothing, and stuff like that. So,
yeah, and then the guy made a masturbation joke on the show. You didn't hear that?
No, I didn't catch that.
Okay, well, Dan Patrick is like, well, okay, if a commentator was gonna, do play-by-play for your life on Sunday, what would it be? And the guy was like, I pick up the lotion.
Wow.
That was good.
Okay, fair enough.
And then it's not even just like that. There's like USA Today had it, and a bunch of like esports things are covering it. Like
Bleacher Report, it was on Bleacher Report.
Yeah, Bleacher Report.
Fox Sports News had, and they actually talked about the Gamer-B Momochi button stuff that went on there. So
yeah, right.
And they also linked to an unofficial rip.
That's true. They did.
But you know what? I mean, at this point, yeah. So.
Yeah. And then I saw Curse Gaming had a thing on it, and people are trying to support that. And mostly, it's actually quite good.
Yeah.
99% of it was quite good. They did use the old button mashers line, what are the button mashers going to do? They did do that, but other than that, it was fine.
But then, a whole bunch of people that I knew, saw that Jamie Lee Curtis was there because that started trending apparently, on Facebook. On Facebook on the side has current trends.
Okay.
But apparently Jamie Lee Curtis being there started trending, and so a whole bunch of people were talking about that. And she had nothing but positive things. I don't know if you saw all of her tweets. She was just like this was just a marvelous group of people. I had a great time. I talked to Scott from Broken Tier, right? Spirit Juice.
Yeah.
And he actually sold them a Broken Tier shirt. They bought a Rocket Raccoon shirt for the son. And Scott actually talked to the son and asked him about it. And he was like, oh, I'm having a great time. This is the best thing ever. And he was like super hype about it. I heard they immediately went to the Mad Catz booth and bought a TE2. You know, and stuff. I'm honestly sad I didn't get to meet them.
Yeah, I had no idea it was happening.
Yeah.
Because I was busy in the other room.
Right.
But yeah, I found out about it later. Dude, how, like, remarkable is it that, like, Katie and Black Skills and Forwood went to dinner with them?
Oh, did they?
You didn't know about that?
No, I saw that Katie was actually, like, took a picture with her, but I didn't know
They were straight up at dinner. Like, I saw a picture on Paul's timeline.
Are you serious?
Where, like, they're just having some dinner. They're just like, hey, I'll smile to the camera. Yeah, I don't know why that happened. I haven't talked with any of them about it, but somehow they got invited to dinner, and they just, like, ate food.
It must have been because the picture that I saw of Katie she was in her Vega cosplay with Jamie Lee Curtis, who was in her Vega cosplay, so they probably just talked about it and stuff like that. I mean, dude, like I mentioned this last week, I just really wanted to meet Christopher Guest, which is Jamie Lee Curtis's husband, who was also there, right? Because he's done a lot of stuff in movies that I'm a big fan of as well.
Sure.
You know, I would have loved to have met them all, frankly. So, dude, I'm so jealous.
You brought up, like, such a trippy idea to me. You were like, what if Jamie Lee Curtis knows who we are?
Yeah, I was literally like, there's
a chance.
There's a very much real possibility that Jamie Lee Curtis knows who we are. And that just, like, freaked me out.
Yeah.
Like, the world didn't make sense at some point in time. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
bizarre. But kind of interesting. I don't know that it's true, but it's interesting to think about.
Man,
so there's been, you know, a lot of good coverage, and a lot of new people were there. And that's always great. I mean, like I said, I went out to dinner with my cousins, and one of their friends really wanted to check it out. Big gamer, and really, like, had no idea that EVO was going on, more of a League player and stuff, but wanted to see it, and came to it on Sunday. And she liked it so much that she was looking into, like, changing her flight plans. So she had to fly out during Street Fighter or something. And so she had to leave at the end of Marvel before even Grand Finals. And she was, like, furiously, like, trying to find, like, oh, when can I fly? On the phone. That's awesome. That's all. Like, it's so cool how many people just, like, ran into it this weekend. And
going back to that whole Jamie Lee Curtis thing, like, she even tweeted out that she tried Street Fighter V and she played Cammy because she's apparently a Cammy fan. Given that one interview that she had where the guy was like, oh, you played Street Fighter? She's like, of course. And like, you played Chun-Li, huh? And she was like, oh, no, whatever. Cammy all the way. I was like, yes, Jamie Lee Curtis is the best. But apparently she played in the Vega mask, right? And so the person that she played actually figured out who she was afterwards, and they were like tweeting back and forth to each other and stuff like that. But I don't know, it's just so cool. Like, everything is just like so cool.
Yeah, I'm really happy that all that stuff happened. I hope that and expect, I guess, that it'll continue happening because it seems to get bigger by such a degree every year.
Right.
There are just more and more eyeballs on it, and at some point those eyeballs will go all the way around the globe.
Yep,
That'd
exactly.
be cool.
I mean, and you know what? I made this comment on Twitter, and to me it's super important, right? I forgot who. I mean, it. You know, the rising tide lifts all boats, right? Is a saying, right? And I stole that from somebody else, and I put it on there. But it's just
from
like
Ronald Reagan. But anyway, go on.
Was it from him?
More or less.
Oh, okay, whatever. It's a great phrase, though. It's a good phrase.
It is a good phrase.
So, I mean, I was just like, it doesn't matter what game they are, we're all in it together. We're all helping each other, right? It's a very important thing. So, Marvel, because of Marvel, we went viral on YouTube with K-Brad's Stone Cold entrance, right? So much to the point that Stone Cold Steve Austin actually on his podcast talked about it and was like, shout outs to you, Kenneth Bradley, you know, you're the man kind of thing. And now, thanks to Ushige, Xrd got us on ESPN and all this publicity. And Street Fighter is where Jamie Lee Curtis comes from. You know, look, every game helps every game. So instead of being bitter about why this game is on that time or this is here or why aren't people playing our game, all this stuff, like, every game is going to help everybody else, and I think that's just a super important concept. So, like, even if the bigger Street Fighter 5 gets, the bigger all the other fighting games get, right? I mean, that's just the way it works.
You always get some bleed out. There are people who, this happened in 4, right? Yeah, people came in to fighting games for 4, and they're like, oh, 4 is all right, and they played it for a while. And then they were like, actually, Marvel. Or actually, Mortal Kombat.
Right.
Or whatever. You know, wherever it goes to from then. That always happens. It happens for whatever game you get into. A lot of people end up trying other ones.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, Christopher Guest dressed up as Dr. Boskanovich from
Tekken.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's Tekken involved. So.
Yeah, and then some people are even making jokes about Smash, like what Smash done. I mean, dude, look, Smash is getting us there faster than any other event.
Yeah, for sure.
They have the 2 biggest events that were not Street Fighter at EVO. Look at how many of the legitimate esports groups out there have sponsored Smash players compared to other fighting games. You know, they're actually leading the charge into this whole thing. And if Nintendo can just get on the ball and start sponsoring and, like, giving pop bonuses, then, you know, Smash could have been arguably the biggest thing. They already have Reggie, Fils-Ami, and everybody, and, you know, of course, you know, Mr. Iwata, you know, and everybody was supporting Smash and everything like that already. So their whole company is already supporting it. Like, how can you not say that Smash is helping lead the charge?
I think Smash is the biggest. I mean, Smash as a series is, like, by far the biggest. If it's Melee plus 4, that blows away every other scene.
And, dude, after Smash, the viewer count, they broke the 200,000 mark.
They were the first ones.
And after that happened, I honestly wasn't sure we were going to get back up there because it dipped, and it dipped far, and it stayed pretty low for a while. But then Street Fighter just went insane, and everybody ran to watch that. And then Street Fighter got up to 225 with the actually, I think with Topanga they got to 250.
That's what I've heard, but the stream numbers were really good actually. On the first day, the concurrent streams were 140, which was already a record.
Right.
Just right off the bat. And then for finals day, Mortal Kombat got 190.
Yeah. Right?
That I honestly had no expectation. I knew that it had been doing well earlier, you know, and lately it hasn't been quite as up there. Some of the casuals I think have sort of started to drift away that were really making that game's stream numbers big. So I didn't expect that, but it like blew away the previous record.
Right.
It just like barreled right through it, and for that game to get that, I thought was awesome because I know that we're not getting like big Japan. I know that we're not getting like big. You know, it's a much more niche game when it comes to most international scenes. That's like really North America,
right?
And for just North America to be up there, I thought was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
pretty impressive. Yeah. As far as Smash, that was really good. And then
I mean, just one more thing to add to MKX.
Yeah.
If you don't think the people were watching the stream for MKX, dude. How many of the fighting game players do we know are super thankful for Mortal Kombat because it got them more viewers than anybody else, than any of the other games? Justin and Maximilian and a whole bunch of other people, once they started streaming Mortal Kombat, got way more viewers.
Yeah.
You know, the Mortal Kombat audience is gigantic, which is why I've said in the past, even though people said I never claimed this, as I said, if there's any game that's going to overtake Street Fighter, it's going to be Mortal Kombat or Smash. Right? That was before Street Fighter 5, though. Now that Street Fighter 5's out, I'm like, whatever. You know?
No, you're totally right. There was a realistic chance that Mortal Kombat X could overtake Street Fighter 4. SF5 is a different story.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 4, towards the end of its life, that was realistic, and it didn't happen. Yeah, it was realistic.
Street Fighter 5 could very well possibly get like 3,000 entrants next year.
It's going to just explode. It really is. So, look. Marvel didn't get those numbers. Okay, it has in the past. It has had the most, the highest viewership. I'm sure a part of that was the time slot. It's got a good time slot as far as North America goes, and you know, but it didn't get that this year, and I thought that was unfortunate. I was hoping it would,
dude,
while not expecting it.
Right. Well, I think it would have if Champ, Justin, and Chris were there.
Right, so that it was something that I wanted to talk about.
Right.
Do you think that part of that was the players?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It definitely, because Champ, Chris, and Justin have just a giant following. You know what I mean? And you're expecting them to be there. I mean, it's like if watching a poker tournament, right? Like, let's say the World Series of Poker, the final table ended up to be Phil Iva versus Dan Negreanu versus, Chris Ferguson or whatever like that. And it's all these people that you know, and you're like, holy crap, I really need to see these guys fight against each other. World Series of Poker is obviously a much more random tournament because there's very much a probability luck factor to it, right? Final table always ends up as like 9, who knows who these people are, right? So it's not quite the same, you know what I mean? Like if it was 9 famous players, I'm sure it would get like way more viewers. So I think that was one of the unfortunate things about Marvel.
Okay, but do you think that it would have had 50,000 more viewers? Because that's what it was down.
I don't think it would have necessarily had 50,000 more viewers. Also because Smash was on beforehand, so a lot of those people were there just to watch Smash, and after it was done, they left.
That could be.
I don't think it might have. Well, what did it peak at?
I heard it was like 140, 150.
140.
That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's accurate.
Like, I don't think it would have gotten to 200,000, but definitely 160, 180. 180 is even realistic for me. Had a lot of those guys stayed in there. So.
I mean, for me, I would expect if Justin were in there that it would have more, but not that many more.
Interesting.
And that's because I feel like if you're such a tangential fan of fighting games, if it's like such a minor thing for you, I don't know that like who's in top 8.
Right.
Maybe you like tune in and you're like, oh, well, let's see who's here. But I don't know that you like know in advance to not watch Marvel 3 because Justin.
Well, I mean, that's just the thing is that Justin's going to be tweeting about it. Yeah, I made top 8.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So a lot of Justin fans.
Certainly there would be more people. I definitely agree with that. I just don't think it would be that many. So I thought that was a little bit disappointing. But, we'll talk about more about Marvel. I liked a lot of stuff that happened with Marvel. I was really happy
but there's definitely
a
lot of questions for it.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of unfortunate things. Also, another thing that hurt Marvel, honestly, is that a lot of what happened didn't get streamed.
That's for sure.
So
for sure,
we'll get into that in a little bit as well. So we'll go over the games one by one. There's obviously a lot to say about Marvel. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so.
Well, what else is there to say for now?
I guess we could talk about the beautiful award. Oh wait.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we won an award while we were there. So we won the Canon Award. Yeah, here it is. I mean, it's transparent glass.
We'll Photoshop it in later. So.
Yeah. Did you expect that would happen?
Dude, no. I already said so before everyone's like, oh, James should get it, and I was like, I'm exempt.
I said he should get it.
Right. Like, I even talked to one of my coworkers. He was like, congratulations on getting the award, right? Because he just was watching it casually, and I was like, so he just asked me about the history of the award. What was it? And I was like, dude, I made it up. He's like, you got an award that you made up? Like, he looked at me like that, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly why I was exempt from the award, right? I just didn't ever want that to happen because, in my opinion, it just... And they found a loophole, so
it's very lawyerly.
They gave us an award, one award that just says UltraChen on it, so it's for the us. It's for us. So they found a way to get me one without giving me one directly. So
I like half expected it. Gotta be honest.
Oh really? Oh okay.
I don't know why. I really wanted them to give it. I thought you should have gotten it. And when they said UltraChen and then they were like, come up here, David and or James and David, I like didn't. The reason I say half expected is because I half expected it would just be you.
Okay.
And it wouldn't be me.
Okay.
Because you've been around for a long time than me. You've done a lot more than me.
Right, but like I said, I'm not allowed. I wasn't allowed to win it. I mean, we had established, and I've had this conversation with Wizard Tom and Tony that we've established that I wasn't allowed to get the award. But then
there's no law.
After I won it, Seth walked up to me and gave me a hug and was like, surprise, I was like, okay, good stuff. Yeah,
it was,
exactly.
yeah. I mean, it was really nice. We got up there on stage for a little bit, and people cheered. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
actually, because they handed you a box, right?
They did.
So I was like, oh, we both got one.
I also thought that. Because at the end of it, after SF4 was done,
right.
I left the box on the chair, and I saw it. I was looking at it, but somebody came over and was like, "You shouldn't leave your stuff." Well, I guess we'll talk about this, but you shouldn't leave your stuff around.
Yeah.
Considering what happened.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, "You're right." Or no, it was yours. It was the award.
Yeah.
It was the award. That's what it was.
Yeah.
The award was out on the table, and somebody was like, "David, you shouldn't let that happen." And I was like, "Well, that's James's."
Right.
That's what I thought. And then I looked in the box, and it was empty.
That's good though. I like that though, because then we just get the one award to display on the stream and everything like that.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's totally cool.
Super cool.
It's totally cool, and it really is nice. It means a lot to just be recognized that way.
Yeah,
cool.
and absolutely, and also Maximilian got the award as well. And dude, the guy, I've called him our most important weapon in the fighting game community. And I honestly think that. I honestly think he's one of the most important people in the fighting game community right now, because he brings in a whole set of viewers that no one else is bringing in.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of people, like, I have not seen... So after we got the award, Shoryuken or Evo2K, one of those Twitters, sent out a tweet, was like, congratulations to these three guys, they're the Canon Award winners, right? And I got so many people responding to that tweet, like Max, James, David, you guys are the reason why I'm in fighting games now. You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting, because it's like, it's even funny that they include us in there, because like, I don't feel like we got them into the fighting game community. I feel like we helped them stay.
Yeah.
But that's a huge different thing than getting them there in the first place, right? Look, Max's panel was packed 20 minutes before it started. There was no one to get in there. There was a whole bunch of meet and greets at the Mad Catz booth, right? They had one for Mike Ross and Gutex. They had one for Vampy, who was there. Right. And Max had one as well. And they had to cut his line off after some time, because it just never decreased. It just never went away. This is how much that guy has affected the fighting game community, and you just can't discount that. Like, I don't care what you think about Max, you have to realize how valuable he is to our community. So I think he absolutely deserves the award. So,
but James, sometimes his information is only a 5 out of 10, not a 9 out of 10.
Dude.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I really... You already said it the best. He brings in way more people than anybody else.
Right.
Any individual person does, for sure.
Right.
For sure. And that's invaluable. If somebody likes watching fighting games, and then they care enough about the information, then they can search it out, and maybe we'll help them get it. But that's a totally different story than bringing somebody in the first place.
Dude, my reputation here on the UltraChen show, where I can open up web pages that have all the information right there for me, my accuracy is like 5 out of 10. I mess things up so often here. Like, I'm just like, oh, look, Jerron won the award to come out to Evo, and everyone's like, he didn't. It was Chris Landon. It was Tremor. And I was like, oh. And I just went through this whole spiel about why Jerron totally deserves it.
I remember that. That was funny.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this stuff happens all the time. We can't, dude, you're just going to get information wrong, especially when you're doing this by yourself. Look, a lot of other people on SportsCenter or whatever like that, people are talking into their ear, giving their information. There was a reality show they did one time to be the next SportsCenter anchor, was super revealing. Mm-hmm. Like, they are talking in your ear constantly.
Right.
Like, you're sitting there, like right now, as I'm saying this, they're telling me that the next segment is going to be about the Denver Nuggets or whatever like that. Right. And you have to keep talking while this is going. But then you've got fact verifiers, you've got all these people to make sure your information is right. But, we're
sometimes you still call people Woshiji, but that happens.
Exactly, right?
It happens.
So, you know what? It's yes, we're all going to get information wrong. And there's nothing you can do.
The thing about Max is that, sure, sometimes he'll get info wrong, or it just won't be that informative in the first place, right? He's not in there to, like, talk about the intricacies of the game engine, which is great, all right? Not everybody should be doing that. There's a very important role that he plays that is bringing in new people, and you're not gonna, if you bring in somebody new and you throw them all this info, it's just gonna be a turnoff.
Right.
You sort of have to, like, get past that initial barrier of interest.
Right.
And he's the one who helps people jump over that fence. And once you're past that fence, cool, there's this whole world, go on forums, watch UltraChen, watch, Melty Bits or whatever it is. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's great for that. But he's one of the people who brings them in the first place.
He's the door
that
lets them in. In fact, I would prefer if Max never gets to that point where he's
just in
here. Let me show you what an option select is.
I totally agree.
I do not want him to do that stuff.
Yes.
Here's all the accurate information about how Guilty Gear plays. Like, that's not what he's valuable for.
Agreed.
Right? He gets everyone to watch Guilty Gear and have Max get hyped and excited, and people go, this game is hype and exciting, I bought the game. Now that they buy the game, they're going to go to YouTube, they're going to do the research, and they're going to find out about a lot more stuff. So
exactly.
That's the way it works.
Exactly. So I'm very happy that he got the award. I really am.
Absolutely. So,
one last thing, I guess, before we get to the games. I don't know if you have anything else, but I just wanted to address the Neo thing where he got totally screwed. His backpack was stolen. It had thousands of dollars in it from both tournament winnings and Marvel, as we'll talk about, and also his laptop, his car keys, the money he had earned at the booth that he paid for, and it's not cheap to get a booth in the first place at Evo, and because part of that was just to repay his investment, so he's like double out of money.
Right.
I mean, that sucks. That is truly just a terrible thing. I went to sleep after Evo being sad, in large part because of that. Right. That's just terrible to have such a good weekend and then that happens. That's awful.
Right. I mean, to be honest with you, that's terrible. I think it's worse that, like, people are thinking that he's scamming people.
Oh, come on. Yeah. That makes me mad.
And then also, like, oh, you should have been watching over your stuff.
Oh my God, yeah. Can we not live in a world where you get stuff stolen and, like, it's your fault because you didn't expect your stuff to get stolen? That's ridiculous. Like, what a crappy society we must have built if you have to do that constantly. Dude, it's like, that wasn't even the case anyway. It's not like he left his backpack in, like, the room in, like, the big main hall and he was like, well, let's walk around. All right, see you backpack in half an hour. That's not what happened at all.
Look, Giuna tweeted out, it was like the anime room had a whole bunch of people in there. We all had a great time. And then someone's wallet was even dropped and was returned to them with all the money in it and all this stuff like that. You know, anime community the best, right? And I agree with him. And then, so I retweeted it and someone was like, responded to that, was like, really? You guys are celebrating normalcy right now?
Yeah, that's true.
And you know what I said to him? I'm like, that's exactly what we're doing. And it's telling that that's what we have to celebrate. You know what I mean? Because this is what you expect from people, right? Look, Lap Chi got his money stolen last year as well. No one said it was a scam for him, right? He had a whole bunch of money at a I don't think it was it at Evo? It was at Evo. I think he had like his own suite where a whole bunch of people, but he got a bunch of money stolen from there as well, right? So it's just like, I mean, he even tried to hide it too, and people just found it. I don't know how, but maybe they saw him put it away or something like that. Look, it happened. It sucks, and don't make it worse by like trying to tell him he's scamming people or that he deserved it or whatever like that. If you worked that hard and you had all of your efforts taken away like that, and then the first thing you do is go read on the internet and see everyone's telling you that you deserve it and that you're scamming them, dude, like.
I feel like people think this is a TV show sometimes. I do. Like, we're all characters and silly TV character leaving his money all over the place. Come on, it's just he's some guy and he got totally ripped off.
So someone's saying it's a big difference because Lap Chi didn't beg for money back, right?
Oh, it's kind of a different story.
Let me explain to you about Lap Chi, okay? Lap Chi. Look, let's just not even mince words, right? Lap Chi could make it rain, okay? Like, he showed that at that Capcom event, I mean, after a Canada Cup event, he spent like $2,000 on a bar tab for all the players. And he's like, whatever, man. It's all good. You know, I mean, that's the way Lap Chi is. That guy has money coming out of his ears. Like, he once told me, he's like, my business makes this much money a year. And I was like, God damn, right? And he was like, that's one of my 8 businesses. And I was like, and that's it. Neo is in law school.
He's in school, man. It's super expensive. Dude, yeah, I know that.
Dude, seriously. It's like, it's ridiculous.
He was trying to take his mom to vacation. Yeah, it's like the worst.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, oh, you're bringing your mom into this just to try to give us, just try to get pity or whatever. And it's like, come on, guys, dude. Let's not be like this. Let us not be that community. Let's not be that kind of people, okay? Look, if you think he's scamming, if you think he's doing all this stuff, then just don't donate to the GoFundMe, which he didn't even start.
Yeah, he didn't even start it. Yeah.
Right? Just donate. Don't donate to him, but just don't go around sitting here like telling everybody that he's a jerk or whatever like that. I mean, that's just not cool. It's not cool. There are a lot of people out there who do believe in him, and they're gonna fund the GoFundMe, and that's the way it works. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating to me that people have that little faith in other people right now.
It's like the same underlying issue that there often is, just lack of empathy.
Yeah.
Or people it's very hard for them to put themselves in that situation. Like, oh, look, if you were to lose, random internet person, if you were to lose $6,000 plus whatever, right, you're not going to be like, oh man, rip me, oh no, I should have paid close attention to my belongings. No, you'd be crushed.
Look,
you would be. I mean, pretend that. I don't know if that's even possible for some people, but I wish that they would pretend that it would happen to them, and then sort of just roll around in the mind.
So there was a few months ago, I just had like the biggest brain fart moment of my life, and I did something ridiculously stupid, and I damaged some of my property that cost me a lot of money to fix. And seriously, like, if I actually said it on the internet, I'm so embarrassed, like, so I won't even say it. Like, it was the dumbest thing ever. Like, there's just no way in my mind that I could have made this mistake. You spend that whole entire time thinking to yourself, like, how could I have been so stupid? If only I could go back. Like, why didn't I? It's just over and over and over and over again. So, you're sitting there telling Neo, like, you're an idiot. You should have locked it up. You should have hit. You don't think he already thought of all that?
I know, yeah, come on. Yeah.
Right?
It's just so stupid. Like, what if when Chris Hu's house had burned down, we were like, oh, man, you should have had better wiring or whatever. I don't even know what the problem was. But
Or hey, Chris, nice job setting your house on fire so that you can get some money.
Nobody, at least nobody I saw, I hope nobody said that. Because it would be ridiculous to say that. Right. But it's the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
anyway.
Yeah.
Even if there are lots of cameras in Vegas, are Vegas police going to go out on a limb to try to find somebody who stole $6,000?
$6,000 is like a drop in.
I really don't think so.
In the bucket.
So he's in a bad situation.
Right.
It's not a dumb comparison. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same. No, what the difference is the comparison is only in people's reaction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's the same. Yeah. It's the same reaction.
That's it. Exactly. It's just, do you believe it? And if you do, then you have sympathy. If you don't believe it, then you don't have sympathy. When Panda X Gaming got all of his stuff stolen, you have sympathy. When Markman got all of his stuff stolen, you have sympathy.
Yeah.
When Spooky got all of his stuff taken away from by the government, you have sympathy. If Neo gets all of his stuff stolen, you don't have sympathy. You think it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. It's human nature. You justify it differently.
Right. Yeah, I think that's all. So anyway, get it together, internet. You want to talk about fighting games?
Yeah, sure. Well, do you want to take a break or not?
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll take a break. We'll talk about tournament fighting game results.
Yes. Okay. We'll be right back.